You've got yourself a beautiful new white slot car kit, all ready for painting. You watch the experts on YouTube and you got yourself an awesome new airbrush. But wait, there's a problem, and we all know what it is. You're not spraying that in my house. So you ask yourself, well, wait a minute, what am I supposed to do? Don't worry, help is on the way. Hey everybody, it's Mark, your friend from Slot Journal. One of the things I wanted to get into this year was trying to learn how to do some airbrushing. I've got some model projects and some cars I want to work on, and obviously I'd like to do some custom paint jobs, so you need an airbrush to do that. So I did buy an airbrush. I'll show you that, but the key to using that indoors is to have a paint booth. And I wanted to just show you how I made mine. Again, it's nothing too fancy, cheap as always. It's a cardboard box, but I'll just show you the components I used to put it together and how I build it and how it works. It's kind of fun, and it won't be a real long video, but again, I just wanted to share with you how I did that. So the first thing we have to start with to make this paint booth is a box. And this is the box that my Bamboo Mini came in. It's very sturdy. It's actually a double ply box. But again, very strong, nice shape. As you can see, I cut it back at an angle a little bit. And you have to excuse my workshop. It's pretty messy. But that's what I started with. I figured this was big enough. It's about 18 inches across. So I figured that would work pretty well. So here's the items I needed to put this system together. First, I started with an exhaust fan. This has a high enough CFM that I can get the exhaust fumes out. Right now I'm only using water-based acrylics, so fumes are not so much a concern, but I still don't want to breathe that stuff in, even when I'm airbrushing it on. So I started with that. Something like this, it's like about 26 bucks. I could spend a few more. I could get one with an actual switch on it for like 15, 20 bucks more. Didn't want to bother with that, so I started with this one. Next, I got this is where all the exhaust stuff goes. This is actually a dryer lint filter. I first saw one like this on BARBADOS REX. It has a filter in it. You put water in it, and basically everything goes in here. Worked very well for him. Again, I think this was like about 20 bucks. So all the system is very, very simple and very cost effective. It comes with the about 4 or 5 feet of the venting that attaches. One end attaches to here and the other end into here, and you get a couple of the strips to secure that. Another thing I got here was some filter material. This is actually a filter material for an aquarium. So what I did with this is I actually 3D printed this on my Bamboo Mini. And what we're going to do is this is going to come through the back of the booth. This will go on it, and then this secures that to the fan. Now I made that a little bit larger, but you'll find out when I put this on, it'll fit nice and secure, and I'll show you that. So you can see here how that filter material fits on there. Again, it's held on nice and snug with that screen I made. And this will just, you'll see this through the back of the paint booth. But again, provides a nice filter here material. And I've got enough to get like 4 of these out of here, so I can switch them out when they get dirty. So the plan here will be to take the exhaust fan, we'll just center it in the back bottom of the booth. We'll use a marker, just Sharpie, and just go ahead and mark that, and then we'll cut that out, and then that will stick through the back of the booth, and then we'll attach the filter and the securing ring on the other side of that. The whole booth is going to get painted white on the inside and the outside. I'll figure out something. Either I'll paint it or cover it with something just so it looks a little bit neater. Now, just for visibility's sake, you want a white interior to your spray booth. Just makes it easier to see things. What I did here, instead of spraying the spray booth, because again, the smell would kind of defeat the purpose of doing this whole thing, I just went on Amazon and bought some white plain adhesive self-stick paper and applied that to the interior of the box, and it turned out really well. Just to make things look a little bit neater and to cover up the printing on the outside of the box, they slapped on a coat of camel tan latex, just put on some trim and stuck a sticker on it. And here you can see the basic connection to the indoor dryer vent. Pretty simple hookup, just uses the 4-foot hose. As I mentioned before, this setup and this particular vent tool was highlighted by BARBADOS REX in one of his videos. I'll put a link to that video in the description so you can see some of the other options he has that are similar to this that allow you to do some painting inside the house without having the vent outside. Now, to increase the visibility in your box so you can see what you're doing, a strip of LED lights would really help. Just apply the self-stick strip onto the top of the box. I fed it out through the side here, and there's just a 12-volt adapter I can use to plug it in. And as you can see, it works pretty well. It gives plenty of light inside the box. One important thing to remember is if you use these type of LED strips, make sure you use the daylight, the 5000K. You want the bright white because it's going to give you a lot better color reproduction and color matching than you don't want to use the soft white light. It has kind of a yellow cast to it. It's going to throw your color matching off. Making your own DIY spray booth not only makes for a happy home, but it saves you more money for slot cars. Hopefully you found this helpful, but if you come up with your own ideas, be sure to let us know in the comments what you did. Okay, so it's time to see what we got in the mail since our last episode. So first of all, take a look. I've got this from Shane at Slot Car Hub. Shane sent us some really nice stickers. Obviously, the Slot Car Show and Slot Car Hub stickers. Very much appreciated. Those are really great. And then next, Bradley Aaron sent us some stuff. Nice little letter. Note says, "Hi Mark, love your videos, your slot car adventures. A sticker swap has been a great way for us to all be united in the hobby." And I couldn't agree more with that. And Bradley passed along a couple of his stickers from B-Rads. Slot Car Circuits is really nice foil stickers. And then that one as well. So that's awesome. Love to see that. And then finally we got a note from David at UC Slot Cars. It says, "Good day, Mark. Love your content. Your scenery work and layout are awesome. Wish I had the patience and skill to do it. Thanks for the happy racing and support." That's from David at UC, and that's really great. And we got some really nice sticker. That's just a great looking sticker. And then he passed along some other ones, which is really a great idea. I got a graph shed, which is nice. One from Dave's Slot Car Asylum. Here's a really cool one. That one is from Silverback Slot Cars. And that's actually a great idea. If guys are out like overseas, you can send more than your own. If you want to like double up and send a bunch of stickers, we can do the same thing here. Actually, it saves on postage a little bit. It's not a bad idea. So if you have some friends or people in your locality have stickers, hey, send them along. Stick them in there too, because they're always appreciated. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this Scale Auto NSX. I'm trying to get ready for the AMSCO race. Done some work on it already. I've put in the new motor. The C motor replaced the B motor. So this is the one specifying the rules. Went through just, I didn't have to take a lot of touch up or sanding or anything around the perimeter of the chassis or the motor mount. The pods seemed to be in pretty good shape. Fitment was nice. I did take the guide out and make some of the adjustments that they talk about in the setup video. That seemed to work out pretty well. So I got it back on the track, and you can see it run here in just a minute. First time I ran it, seemed a little, I don't know, a little skittish. Obviously, after taking the magnet out, it was different than obviously the first time I had run the car previously. Tightened some things up, it seemed to run a little bit better. So we can take a look at that next and see how that went. So there we are for now. Progress I think has been okay. I mean, again, this is something I've not really done before to this extent, but I am ahead of the game. I think enough that I'm considering maybe I will go ahead and get a white body to put on this, and we'll get this car. Maybe we'll do a custom paint job. I don't know. See how that goes. But again, if I have time, that's something I'm considering. And one other thing I wanted to mention, I had posted about this on Facebook, but in addition to actually getting this car ready, one of the fun things I found was using my 3D printer to make some tools, because I really didn't have much in the way of tools to work on my slot cars. So I found this tray on MAKERWORLD, and I just made some adjustments in it. I put in some notations here as far as what goes in each compartment and customized it a little bit. Also printed some feet out and put on the bottom, and this is some foam I have. It's like a 16-inch foam, which is really nice because it keeps things from sliding around. The same thing, I found this little vise. I used this to hold the motor while I was soldering the new leads on, and that comes in really handy. And then, to hold my, keep this off the ground, I had this handy little stand, which is nice. You can throw it in a tool case, but again, just, you have that there and keeps things nice. So it's a whole bunch of little things. I've got little, wire clips and all kinds of neat little tools out there. I found MAKERWORLD is a great place, but I'm sure some of the other 3D file places have stuff that's just equally as good. So take a look. I'll also post the links on MAKERWORLD to these things if somebody's interested in download them, and you can customize them however you want if you have the ability. Well, that wraps up this episode. If you really enjoyed this content, be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. One other note for subscribers, you do have an opportunity to win the tower that we are rehabilitating, fixing up. If you checked out episode 38, which I think was 2 episodes ago, you do have an opportunity to get in on that drawing. If you go to that specific episode and note 1500 tower in the comments, you can get a chance to win that. So we hope you'll take a look at doing that. We'll put a link to that episode here in the end credits as well. So until next time, get on your track, get your finger on the trigger, and step on it.